Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another movie review. This time we're going to be talking about Evil Dead 2. Of course, this movie came out in 1987. It was a sequel to the original The Evil Dead film from 1981. I just reviewed the soft reboot or 2013 version of the first movie with Jane Levy a day or two ago now, which I really loved, and I decided to get back and review the rest of the original films as well before I eventually watched the Ash vs. Evil Dead series. Now my thoughts on the first film, you can go back and watch it to hear more about it, but I thought it was okay. I'd give it like a C minus or so, like something like that. And I actually love the 2013 version. I thought that was a really well done horror flick. And my thoughts on this one. I don't like it as much as the 2013 movie, but I think I enjoyed it quite a bit more than the first film. And that could be because there's more action in this one. Bruce Campbell or Ash really got to become what he's known for in this movie, so that was probably a part of it. But overall, I did really like Evil Dead 2, a bit more than I expected. I'll just say right off the bat, I'd probably give it like a B minus or something like that, maybe a C plus, somewhere around there. I'll probably give a more concrete rating at the end of the video. But this continues off from the first one, and I know some people are kind of confused by that because it shows like this recap of the first movie that isn't exactly how it was at the end of the first movie. The way that the footage is, that the scenes are different and stuff like that, and they're recapping the opening of this. And that's because it's weird, but I read on like IMDb that for some reason they couldn't get the rights to show footage from the first movie again, so they had to redo it in a way. I don't know how they couldn't do that. I don't know. It's kind of a weird loop that they'd have to go through to get that, I guess. But so they had to redo the opening, so I don't really have a problem with it if they didn't really have a choice, But this movie is, still obviously a sequel to the first film. And, it just continues. Ash is trapped around the cabin, then we have these other people sort of showing up to check it out, and they get roped into it too, mostly just to have, more of a body count because they're not going to kill Ash, right? So, the plot's still pretty simple. It's basically just what the first one was. They're trapped in the cabin. There's this evil force or entity out there due to the Book of the Dead, and they have to sort of follow the pages to that to figure out what to do or what's coming. But, it's mostly just controlled chaos, really, because no one has any idea what's going on, and Ash just gets continued to be thrown through the ringer during all of it. I will say, like I said, I like this movie more than the first one. And they did have a higher budget in this movie. They had, I think, about like a over $3 million budget for this one, whereas in the first one they had about like $400,000. I know Stephen King actually backed the funding for this movie, because he likes the first one quite a bit. So he made some calls and he got him the money necessary to do a second movie. So that's the explanation for the increased budget and as well as the increased amounts of blood we do see in this movie. And it definitely worked out well. It made me enjoy it quite a bit. And what also made it for me, though, is that Ash Williams really gets to come into his own in this movie. Whereas before, he really just kind of plays like a normal guy. And he still kind of is in this movie. But in this, we see him, of course, lose his hand. So he eventually takes off the chainsaw, and then he gets his boomstick. So you really see him become the iconic horror character that people know him for in this one. So I think that really made the movie. Bruce Campbell, he's good. He has these one-liners and such. Groovy, of course, and things like that. So he's always entertaining, if not a bit, too cheesy or campy. But that's kind of what the original Evil Dead movies are, of course. Although I did like the more self-serious tone of the 2013 version. This one is just a different animal, really. It's just more comedic as opposed to the more serious 2013 one. But this isn't a comparison. As far as the rest of the acting in the movie goes, besides Bruce Campbell, though, it's all okay. The characters aren't really characters. We get like this redneck couple and this one girl who's seems to have a little bit more of a head on her shoulders, and she ends up helping Ash with reading the pages at the end to try and stop the evil. But the acting for everyone else is just okay. They're just kind of there, really. I did like the witch in the basement. Let me see if I can get her name again real quick. Let me see. Henrietta. Yeah, I think that was her name. I like the effects for her, and when Ash gets temporarily possessed in this movie, sort of like the bulging like white eyes and the more skeletal like facial structure. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the effects they had on Bruce Campbell for that, or the makeup anyway. I think it looked actually pretty creepy, so it's kind of fun seeing her run around like that for a little bit. But of course Ash manages to come out of it when he gets the necklace and such. And it's also kind of funny when his hand gets possessed. I enjoyed that quite a bit, just the way Bruce Campbell sells it, again playing into that, campiness of the whole thing. You laugh, just hits him with like these plates and just shatters bowls over his head over and over. It was pretty funny, I'll give it that. And then there are little examples of things like that. And this movie also has a bit of a cliffhanger ending, a major setup for Army of Darkness, the third film. And where you see him actually sent back in time, and then they're just completely shocked and stunned by how he killed like this flying demon with this with his boomstick. So they sort of bow down to him, and he's just in complete grief, and sort of he's not wanting to be there. And then the final fight in the movie before he gets sent back in time, though, is of course with the abomination. I don't know what they called it in this movie, but it's kind of like the abomination, or the thing that they had reveal itself in flesh, because of Annie reading the book. It's just like this bulging face trying to get into the cabin through the door, and it has like these trees for hands and such. It looked alright, although we didn't get too good of a look at it. I like the effects for it when it was trying to, pretty much eat Ash, I guess. And Ash manages to, stick his chainsaw into it, and blue blood comes out. I don't know. I heard that they had to use different colors of blood at certain times so they could avoid going over an R rating. So that's understandable, I guess. But it looked kind of weird, I'll admit. That part is pretty fun. And Ash's possessed hand sort of comes up, and it stabs Annie in the back at one point, but Annie is able to complete the finish the reciting of the pages anyway before she dies. But yeah, overall, there's not much more to say about the story, but overall I do think it was an improvement over the first movie. Although the first movie has its place, I didn't like it as much as other people do, but I understand its place, and this movie also had a bigger budget, so they got to do a little bit more with this one. And it was just fun seeing Bruce Campbell portray what we know Ash to be, with the whole chainsaw and boomstick shtick. It definitely made the movie a lot more fun. There's more action. There's a little bit more going on to it. So I like this one. I'd give it about a C+ or a B, I think. Somewhere around there with that range. I don't know, it just kind of depends on my mood, I guess. But yeah, I like this one. And let me know what you guys thought about this one. I will be probably watching Army of Darkness soon. I'm going to be buying this one on Blu-ray pretty soon as well. Still not my favorite in the series. I do still kind of prefer what they did with the 2013 one, but I did like this one. I think it improved over the first. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe, and peace.